From the basics to our special trick to securing hard-to-book reservations, we've got 10 mistakes newbies make at Walt Disney World. And of course, number 1, you have to have your day reservation and ticket reservation. They're going to make sure and tell you that all over. After you book your ticket, it's going to tell you to go in and book that day reservation, because you do have to purchase the ticket before you can reserve the day. So if you haven't been to Walt Disney World in a while, you're used to just buying a ticket and show up, that does not work anymore. Now you've got to buy a ticket and make a reservation for the day. There's a big know before you go section on their website. Make sure you go check that out for any other things you need after you finish this video, of course, because number 2, make sure you schedule dining reservations. I cannot emphasize enough to make sure you schedule dining reservations. I see how people might be hesitant to do that because you don't know exactly where you're going to be throughout your day. But let me tell you what you don't want. You don't want to end up halfway through your day with tired feet, grumbling people in your party because they're hungry and they're tired and they're hot and there's lines everywhere, so how on earth are you going to get any food? Well, if you've made a dining reservation, guess what? You're going to go in, you're going to have air conditioning, and if you're doing the dining plan and they've got those free cocktails, that can really help as well. I can't even begin to explain how much some air conditioning, food, and maybe a drink can really help the rest of your day at Walt Disney World. It's like you've gone home, taken a nap, and completely refreshed. Okay, well, it's not quite like that, but it makes such a difference. Now, that being said, it is important to note that there are cancellation fees involved with dining reservations. If you are not going to make it, you need to let them know 24 hours ahead of time, or there will be a $10 fee. There were a few times that we were not going to make it to our reservation, one of them being dinner at Le Cellier. They were happy to not charge us a fee because their wait was so long with all of the people who just showed up that they were really happy to be able to use our reservation time. So if you're not going to make it to your reservation, don't just assume that they're going to charge you. Use that dining reservation number, call them, and ask them if they can cancel it for you. One special note though, pro tip, I did not know this. If you're going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, don't cancel your dining reservation because those restaurants will not be open. That's the way it is sometimes for those parties. Having a reservation will not get you an immediate seat, but it saves a lot of time. And we've got a really good tip for you. When you're looking for those Disney World dining reservations, they do open up in advance and they will sell out. We got every reservation we wanted, including Oga's Cantina, right after it opened up by using touringplans.com Disney World Dining Reservation Finder. This is not any type of ad or affiliate. This is what we use to get our dining reservations. We booked trips that were closer to actual travel date, and a lot of the dining we wanted did sell out by that point in time. I set up reservation finders for Oga's Cantina, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and we got them all. It did take a few tries because when that pops up, you need to get on there and book it right away. And we missed that a few times. We just didn't do it fast enough, but that's no problem. Just go in there and set a new one, or tell them to refresh it that you still want it active, and it's really helpful for getting those dining reservations, especially if they're really hard to get restaurants or really popular times are selling out. Try out that little tip. Let us know if it works for you. Number 3, do not miss rope drop. First thing in the morning, when the park opens, they call that rope drop. Obviously, first thing in the morning, you're going to get your transportation and head over to the park before they open so that you can be there for rope drop. They're not going to actually drop a rope, so don't get too excited about that. A lot of the parks have 2 sets of entrances to the park. Those first gates, you can go in but not actually access the rides yet. So a lot of times before the park actually opens, they will open those exterior gates and you can get a little closer to the interior of the park and the ride that you want. You want to be at the front of those lines because that's how you're going to get on the rides quick. Remember, you can't run. You want to be careful and mindful of people. It is just a ride after all, so make sure you're all being safe. But doing that rope drop makes a huge difference. You've got to get up early, so be ready for that. I think a lot of people just hit snooze on the alarm clock. Also, when you've got tiny humans, you've got to get them ready. They are not going to stick to a schedule as well as other people. You can fit a couple of rides in maybe. Certainly more than you can fit in the afternoon, and there's going to be less people just because of those dynamics that keep people out first thing in the morning. Now, that being said, this is Disney World. You're going to get there and there is going to be a group of people outside. If not, please tell us what you did. So don't get bummed. Just get there early, get up front, and be ready. And enjoy your day. It's Walt Disney World and that's what you're there for. Number 4 is extended evening theme park hours. With the 50th anniversary celebration, they have added added extended evening hours on select evenings in select theme parks. This is only available when you stay at a deluxe resort or a Disney Deluxe Villa resort or a few other select hotels. They have the exact hotels listed on their website, so go check that out. With this also comes an extra opportunity to join the virtual queue at 6 p.m. on extended evening theme park hour nights at Epcot. Guests staying at those specific locations we mentioned will have the additional opportunity to request to join the virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. So that's pretty cool. There are quite a few hotels, but I still think these evening hours would be pretty fun. I really like going to the parks in the evening. Obviously, we told you to rope drop. Here, I'm going to tell you to do the other thing, stay till close. You don't have to do them on the same day. That might be too much. But if it's not, then do that. But absolutely do it on 2 different days. They're very different dynamics, early in the morning and late in the evening. And during those extended evening theme park hours, select merchandise and food and beverage locations will be available. So make sure about the restaurants also. And they've got a whole schedule out here with what parks, what days the extended hours are. Looks like about a 2-hour window of extended hours. Number 5 is scheduling too much. Now I know we've told you make sure you're there for the rope drop. And we've said make sure you've got dining reservations scheduled. And I stand by it. But also make sure you leave room in your day. Make sure you leave time in your day. Disney World is a huge property. Huge. 4 theme parks, over 30 resorts, hundreds of restaurants. Just make sure you've got time. There's lines at all of those places. Don't schedule anything too close. You don't want to have a 1 p.m. dining reservation and a 2 p.m. Genie Plus reservation at a different park. You're not going to make it. They're not that close. So make sure you leave some time in your day. 1, for transportation from place to place, and 2, just to enjoy it, because there is a lot going on at Disney World. There's also a lot of impromptu fun entertainment that is not scheduled anywhere that will just pop up, and you want to have time to enjoy those when they do. That brings us into number 6. Another way to make sure you don't have too much scheduled and keep yourself and your family fueled is make sure you bring a stay cold water bottle and some snacks with you into the park. Also, make sure you put them in a small bag. You don't want a huge backpack that you've got to fit onto those rides. We have just a kind of a half backpack size that we'll put some snacks in there, nuts, beef jerky, crackers, just easy snack things, especially if you've got those tiny humans. And then we bring a metal stay cold water bottle and a carabiner. We use the carabiner to attach the water bottle to the bag. It can kind of hang out on the outside if you need it that way. That way you don't have to get in and out of the bag every single time you want something to drink. It is a really good idea to have something cold like that with you because it does get hot and it can happen kind of fast, especially all those people everywhere, body heat and movement, plus of course sun and humidity. It really helps to have something cool on you and something to eat just to keep the edge off on those hangry moments. Number 7, make sure you have a non-park day in your schedule. With all those dining reservations and early morning rope drops and late night fun for fireworks, you might get a little tired from all that fun and play. So we highly suggest at least 1 non-park day at Disney World. There's a lot going on at downtown Disney, and of course the resorts are all beautiful and themed. You can really have a lot of fun just exploring those. And not having to rush to a park that day also lets you do it at a more leisurely pace. We absolutely love the Lapu Lapu at the Polynesian. Go try this one out. And some of those restaurants are in high demand even though they are outside the park. So make sure you've got some dining reservations if there's something in particular you want for that day as well. But just make sure you have that non-park day. Enjoy everything else Walt Disney World Resorts has to offer. Moving on. Number 8 is anti-nausea medication. Anti-nausea medications are a great idea for Walt Disney World. They do have some of those rides like Cosmic Rewind and Mission Space that can make you feel a little queasy. They've got fast movements, quick lights. If some of these movements might make you a little bit nauseous, anti-nausea meds are a great way to deal with that. You can take Bonine, B-O-N-I-N-E, the evening before your vacation. Just take them every evening and that can help with that nausea aspect. Also, I highly recommend C-bands. C-bands utilize the acupressure method to assist with nausea. It's just a little band that you'll put on your wrist and it really does help. So if you have any worries about nausea on any of those new rides, just take those with you and I think that should help quite a lot. I haven't been on it though, so you can't quote me on that just yet. Number 9, make sure you've got comfortable shoes. You definitely do not want to buy brand new shoes for Walt Disney World and bring those only because you don't know if they're going to be comfortable or not, and let me tell you, nothing can make a Disney vacation go downhill faster than uncomfortable shoes. And even more importantly, if you are buying new shoes for your Disney trip, make sure you break them in ahead of time. I can't stress enough how much walking there is at Disney properties, and if your shoes are bothering you, well, forget it. There goes the trip. So get yourself some comfortable shoes. Even if they're not that cute, don't worry about it. The point is getting around the parks. A lot of people really like Crocs. I haven't even tried them yet, so I don't know. I usually will wear a pair of tennis shoes or some really comfortable sandals. But just make sure you've got comfortable shoes. Make sure you break them in ahead of time. You want to be able to enjoy your day at the parks. Once in a while, you're going to want to walk a little fast to get somewhere. And it really helps if you have comfortable shoes on. And number 10, of course, is Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes. Genie Plus is its own little cluster. It needs its own video. What I will say is make sure you research it before you leave. I would do it as soon as you book your park tickets. Get in there, find out what it is and whether or not you're going to buy it. The earlier the better. And especially if you're buying it the day of park entrance. If you're going to be there really late and you haven't bought it yet, it might not be worth it. So those are our 10 mistakes newbies make at Walt Disney World. We've also got 9 common Disney cruise mistakes. And is Walt Disney World even worth it? Go check those videos out as well. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing in the Disney fun. And we'll see you real soon with some more Disneys.